Tonight on CTV3 News, police takes proactive measures to keep New World Screwworm at bay amid regional spread. Traffic accident injures students in Brout Regional Basketball Competition in Orange Walk. And Belize declares state of emergency in sugar industry amidst Fusarium fungus outbreak. Secures hemispheric funding for climate-affected farmers. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, November 29th, 2024.
Pro FC is here on Saturday, November 30th. Pro FC arrives at the Garden City Belmopan. Pro FC 14 Mundo versus Topsy inside the UB Gymnasium in the city of Belmopan. The main event is the lightweight championship fight between the defending champion Marvin Manley Mundo versus the dangerous Amel Topsy. We also have 9 other exciting MMA fights, including 2 more championship fights and a featured professional international MMA fight featuring the undefeated Frank McVasquez. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the event starts at 7:30 p.m. sharp. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $80 available at the event ticket booth. Pro FC, Belize Premier MMA League. Pro FC 14 live exclusively on Centaur.
Pro FC 14 is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, the Belmopan City Council, and Express Plus app, streaming entertainment.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A traffic accident recorded at around 4 this afternoon left several students from the Ocean Academy High School in Keekawker injured. We understand the students were traveling to Orange Walk to take part in tomorrow's high school regional basketball competition when the vehicle they were traveling in, a white van, flipped several times. The incident occurred between miles 39 and 40 of the Philip Golson Highway. Our understanding is that the vehicle might have suffered a blowout and that caused the driver to lose control. At this time, Belize remains free of the New World Screwworm, a pest that poses a significant threat to livestock and has been spreading through the region like wildfire. In order to keep the pest out of Belize, the Ministry of Agriculture, along with its partner agencies, including BAHA, BLPA, and OIRSA, are actively working hand in hand. For one, Agriculture Minister Honorable Jose Abelardo May has been holding weekly meetings with his technical teams to monitor the rising number of cases in neighboring countries. Following a meeting in New Creek Village this afternoon, Minister May provided an update on the situation, citing that he is very happy with the work being carried out by the team.
No country in the region has a screwworm program. None. Belize is the only country that has employed people to deal only with screwworm. So while we do not have a screwworm eradication program, we have a screwworm surveillance program. We employed a new veterinarian, a young veterinarian. We're employing another couple people this week, and they are monitoring, visiting all the farms, ensuring that we do not have screwworms. There are about 5 important things that you do to keep screwworm out or keep screwworm suppressed. And we did a checklist, those 5 things. The first one is education and awareness. Are we doing it? Yes. Are we doing it to the right people? Yes. Those that live on the periphery and the borders of the country from Guatemala, they are well aware. The villages are being informed. We're having meetings with the farmers. So education and awareness is the first one. The second one is control points. Do not move animals from infected areas, or do not move animals if you suspect that they're sick. The third is treat wounds. Are we treating the wounds? Yes. We are telling the farmers now, You cannot have an animal being wounded on the farm and not treating it to cattle treat it. If there's no wounds, the fly cannot lay an egg. If they can't lay an egg, then die. So there's no wounds, there's no flies. 3. The 4th one is report all cases quickly. Take samples and report all cases. And the last is the dispersal of sterile flies. Sterile fly alone cannot do the job. There are 5 things. We went through them, each one individually, and said, where are we with this? And I explained as explicitly how much posters we have, so many posters. That's one answer. How many posters are up is another question. And we need to do that quality control.
Cases in the region on the rise, including the recent detection of a single case in Mexico. Minister Mai says the situation is becoming even more vulnerable. He pointed out that a single case in Mexico recently led the United States to ban Mexican cattle imports, highlighting the economic risks Belize could face.
I was in Mexico last week in Quintana Roo, and I was invited by the authorities there to share with them what we are doing in Belize. Coincidentally, on that same day, they found their case in Mexico, in the Chiapas area, Palenque, Chiapas area, on that same day. And why I had to explain to them what we are doing is because the government is under pressure by the associations there. The associations are asking the government to ban the importation of cattle from Belize and from Guatemala. We are saying to them that there is no reason to do so when we are the only screwworm-free nation in Central America and El Salvador. And we have cattle as a main industry. El Salvador does not have a cattle industry. We do. So technically speaking, we're the only country that does not have screwworm in the country. We're the only country that has traceability across the entire country. Every single cow is bled. We know, everyone has an earring. We know the numbers, where they come from, where they're going to, who owned them before. So we have that in place. Now, even Mexico has that in place.
Managing Director for Baja, Zoe Robinson Zetina, today also highlighted the ongoing work being carried out across the country, which includes active surveillance and border management.
We are doing active surveillance, like I said, and we are strengthening our border points, both official and the unofficial. We know it's no secret that we have agricultural goods going through Halacte and through Bullet Tree. What is good for Belize is that we are not importing animals into Belize. It's exportation of animals that we do. But we are strengthening those 2 internal checkpoints for Baja. We're manning them 24 hours, 7 days a week to ensure that there are in fact no animals coming into this country, and also for any vehicles that are passing through those points to ensure that they are free and clear of any material that could transport the pest.
Can Baja monitor pastures that have been cleared illegally by Guatemalans that have incurred on Belizean land along the southern borders?
As long as that property is on Belizean territory, then Baja has jurisdiction to do surveillance, and we are doing that at this time. And we are doing that in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, and with BLPA officers as well. So we have basically a large stakeholder group working together for just that purpose, to go farm to farm, community to community, farmer to farmer, to ask the hard questions, to inspect their animals. And we're also getting notifications. So if you have an animal that has a wound on it and you see maggots in it and you call Baja, we will respond, we will take samples to determine that in fact it is not screwworm.
And while the Ministry of Agriculture is working to keep screwworm out of Belize, it is currently engaged in trying to save the sugar industry, which is being seriously affected by Forestry fungus. With a large portion of the northern industry already affected by this serious fungal infection, the government of Belize recently amended the laws to allow for a state of emergency to be declared within the sugar sector. as his ministry continues to seek ways to help combat this infection within the industry. Minister Mai today confirmed that Belize is among the first countries to be approved for a hemispheric fund by the International Compliance Association, ICA, to assist farmers who are being directly affected by any threat which comes as a result of climate change.
I approached ICA on Captain 9, and that same day at Captain 9, they launched a hemispheric fund for the agriculture sector where farmers are losing crops or having losses because of climate change. And so I think one of the first countries to benefit was Belize, and I thank ICA for that. So they approved a portion of the hemispheric fund. We made it. When I was there, I spoke to my team and they presented formally the request from ICA. It's been approved in principle. So what we are just working on is the details of the resources that will come to us to help us find a way to mitigate the effects of fusarium. It has to be a program. It's not a silver bullet. It's a whole program that will integrate, which will include biological control, different cropping systems, integrated pest management. We are talking about biological control. We're talking about new varieties. We're talking now about bringing varieties from Brazil that are resistant to fusarium. So it's a whole different program. So ICA will provide money for that.
So what's the implications on the state of emergency for the start of the sugar season in the sugar industry?
Well, the crop will begin as soon as weather improves. If there's enough cane out there to start, we will start. We have to continue. The fields that have fusarium will eventually die out. But I want to remind you again that this is not the UDP government. That when citrus greening hit citrus, they did nothing at all. We have moved with alarming speed to find a way to continue sugar production while finding alternatives or finding ways to ensure that the farmer can survive in the sugar industry. And that's what we're doing. And it's a long-term plan. It's not quick. It's not next crop you want to see there's no fusarium. No. That is here to stay. We have to find a way to live with it.
Agriculture Minister Honorable Hossein Mai today also spoke on rising prices in local agriculture products, which have been attributed as one of the factors affecting the high economic outlook in the country. Like other sectors across the region, Minister Mai says farmers are victims of climate change, including droughts, flooding, pests, and diseases, which affect crops and drive up the prices of these products on an annual basis.
Number of reasons why costs go up, right? Last year, at the same time, we had the inflation spike again. Remember that? Same time, the weather patterns. Not only in Belize, but even in Mexico. Excess rainfall has caused losses to the farmers, right? So you have losses, you have less product, you have it's supply and control. You know, it is supply and demand. And so the farmers, right now, I got a call a while ago that the farmers and carrots are not looking good. So the farmer would have taken 1,000 pounds, he's taken 500 pounds. His cost gone up, he got losses. So the little carrots he have that are good, he will try to get a better price for it. It's a natural reaction, right? But again, you heard the term climate change over and over again, right? The soybean, we have 50% of soybean loss right now. So the millers are quick to jump and say, Minister, give us permit to import soybean. I say, wait. Buy what the farmer got first, man. Obviously, the farmer want limo now because he lost. But last year, when the crop was good and the soybean farmers harvested everything and carried to the mill, the mill said, guess what? I got a lot of soybean, so I'm paying right now, leave it. Even though the poultry price went up, they're going down to the soybean producers. So it's a law of supply and demand. But know that the farmers lost, and everything happened, see me happen, because it's difficult. We live in the humid tropics. We're subject to some of the worst diseases, some of the worst pests, right? Worst conditions to grow crops in. And so last year was the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Mai says they are looking at various potential ways to help farmers to combat this trend, which is only expected to become worse.
The things discussed was crop insurance, but it ain't cheap. Well, there's nothing cheap nowadays. But crop insurance is a matter being discussed again at CAP 29. I think we will have to look at that. I mean, it's a part of resident agriculture, right? How do you safeguard the farmers' investment, right? And there's no easy answer to it, right? So I believe that, yeah, last year was the same thing.
Despite the global trend of declining prices for goods and services, Belize continues to face significant challenges with price gouging, leaving consumers frustrated and struggling to make ends meet. The issue has drawn attention from government officials as the public clamors for more stringent measures to combat unreasonable price increases.
The high cost of living has nothing to do with increase of taxes in this country, because we've not increased taxes. And the price of goods are falling all over the world, but the price of goods don't fall here. So these Russia owners and these operators are doing us a grave injustice. And so ordinary people have to begin to understand that you have to spend your money with the people who are spending on you. Lots of these grocery owners don't spend a dollar, don't buy an exercise book, don't buy a pencil for a single child in these communities that they get rich off. And so we have to begin to understand that and begin to understand the value of our money and spend our money where our money will more benefit our people. Yeah, the government, with the help of the public officers, have been trying to police these grocery stores and trying to crack down on these renegade operators. But we have to do more of that. And we have to make an example of people so that people can understand that you are not supposed to be doing this, and people can understand that the government is fighting this, because we have not raised taxes. In fact, we've tried to put money in the hands of Belizeans. We've raised the minimum wage from $3.30 to $5, and that increase got eaten up by the high cost of goods. Now we can understand a few years ago, all of the global prices were affected by COVID and all the disruption in the shipping industry that was caused by that. But that has passed, right? And inflation is dropping across the world, and they say it's dropping here too, but we still are grappling with the high cost of goods. And so these store owners have to get the sense, and government has to do more, but our people has to be vigilant too and support the people who are giving you a fair shot, and don't support the people who are ripping you off.
The government has taken steps to identify and penalize offenders in the marketplace. However, many citizens feel that these measures are not enough. Those affected by these price increases often express their discontent, noting that essential items are becoming increasingly unaffordable for the average Belizean family. A man has been fined over $2,000 for unlawful possession of timber after being caught with forest produce without a permit. On October 30, 2024, the Forest Department responded to an illegal logging report near Frank Eddy village in the Cayo district, where they encountered Wilfredo Cristales in possession of 15 pieces of Santa Maria flitches. The timber, measuring a total of 570 board feet, was confiscated. Cristales was charged for the illegal possession of forest produce and appeared before the Belmopan Magistrate Court, where he pleaded guilty. He was fined $2,279.60, and the seized timber was forfeited to the Forest Department. The Forest Department has reiterated its commitment to enforcing forest laws and has called on the public to assist in protecting Belize's natural resources by reporting illegal activities such as unlawful logging, wildlife trafficking, and other forest-related violations. They stress that safeguarding the country's forests and biodiversity is a collective responsibility. Coming up next, Corozal Police enhance safety measures as the busy Christmas season approaches. Stay tuned.
Hi, my orange Arcanius. Have you considered why areas of our tongue flood easily? It's no secret that developing areas in our tongue flood easily due to clogged drains full of garbage and debris. By properly disposing of waste, we ensure free flow in our drains, preventing flooding in developing areas. I thank you as we ask for your support.
Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
A year after the shocking murder of 19-year-old Keon Jamal Quiroz, law enforcement has made a significant breakthrough in the case. Police have arrested and charged Jalil and Danai Clarence E. Usher with the murder. The tragic incident occurred on August 11, 2023 at approximately 2:45 a.m. when Quiroz was at home. According to preliminary investigations, an individual arrived at his residence and shouted "police" in a way that led Quiroz to believe he was in a dire situation. As he opened the door, the assailant opened fire, striking Quiroz multiple times and killing him on the spot. For more than a year, Quiroz's family collaborated with authorities determined to see justice served. The announcement of Usher's arrest has brought some measure of relief to the grieving family, who have long awaited answers and closure in their tragic loss. Members of the Public Sector Workers Trust, which includes educators and public servants, were today part of a one-day training on home gardening. The training session was carried out in conjunction with the Workers Trust and the Ministry of Agriculture to provide public servants with tools to help them create their own gardens at home to help combat the rising economic climate in our country.
All right, then sure. What happened is this program is our Sustainable Livelihood Project. It's a project that came about due to the fact that there are soaring vegetable prices, and our beneficiaries are some of the older folks, you know. And so what we did was we collaborated with the Ministry of Agriculture to do a backyard gardening component for them.
Today's training session included a theory session with extension officers from the Ministry of Agriculture, as well as a practical session where all participants were provided with seedlings and materials to begin their own home garden.
Teachers or public officers as a whole are all professionals. And I can say professionals because we have been trained to work for the people. I believe they have had the experience working in schools, and most schools presently have that established at their school, working in the garden. I believe that those are the ones who can transmit, who can be the example, or we as a whole, and I include myself as a public officer, we can show the example of what we can do and how we can impact our community. What we were trained today is how to produce our own food. There is a famous saying that if we produce our own food, we are printing our own money. And that's very true. So the objective for today was to train all of them the basic of what is of planting. From putting a seed in the soil up to harvesting. The day is not enough for training as this, but we know they're all professionals. They're all, we're all interested in the topics. So what we will do now is a follow-up on them. So they will receive today seedlings. They received a medium, which is soil. So from that, they will proceed now in what they learn today to practice on their garden. So by the end of the week, they should already transplanted and looking forward for harvesting in 3 months' time from now. That's it.
For educator Telma Cancino, who was part of this morning's session, learning how to create and maintain a home garden will help her to provide healthier and cheaper foods to her home.
The training today is about home gardening. It's a basic home gardening where we learned about the different chemical, natural what do you call it, fertilizers and other products that we can make at home. Also, we learn about the commercial types that we can use in gardening to make our gardening a successful venture. It's a lot of hard work, but it should give us better products instead of buying the vegetables that are loaded with chemicals that we purchase every day at the market. That's not to say how expensive they are. So with this, we hopefully will be able to produce enough vegetables at home that we won't be able to be, we will be able to save some money.
So this is something that you see you will be able to adopt in your home?
Yes, we will give it a try. It's first time that I'm gonna be doing something like this. It's it sounds like a lot of work, given that we have, well, as public officers and teachers, we never really work like this. But it's an opportunity, and each day we learn something new, and today we were loaded with information for which we are very grateful for.
In May of this year, Belize achieved a significant milestone by being certified by the World Health Organization, WHO, for eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis. This commendable achievement highlights the nation's ongoing commitment to public health. However, recent data from the Ministry of Health and Wellness indicates a troubling increase in new HIV infections, particularly in the central districts of the country. The increase in infections is a stark reminder that despite early victories, much work remains to be done in combating HIV/AIDS. Belize is a signatory to the Millennium Development Goals, which includes a commitment to eliminate HIV/AIDS by 2030. The recent surge in cases emphasizes the need for continued and enhanced efforts in prevention, testing, and education regarding the disease. In response to these challenges, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, in collaboration with various partners, is ramping up its efforts to promote awareness and testing for HIV. Today, a team from the Corozal Community Hospital set up a testing booth at the Princess Hotel and Casino in northern Belize, offering free HIV testing to community members.
So we carry out the HIV, the TB, the syphilis test, the Hep B, Hep C. We're doing that as well, and then we're doing health talks through our HECOPAB and as well as our engagement officer. We take those talks to the villages, to schools. Right now we're working yesterday and today at the casino. We're testing there because we know there are quite a number of personnel working there, and es muy pesado para ellos salirse del trabajo y poder venir a una clínica. Entonces, hemos llegado ahí, y es por segunda vez, haciendo un follow-up. We're taking general consultation as well as our testing, all our tests that we mentioned. We're doing it as well, and we're working along with Mexican officials que igual nos están apoyando para hacer estos testing, because we have both Belizeans and Mexican working there. So if we detect a case and there are Mexicans, so los hacemos refer al Mexican authorities, ¿no? Para que ellos nos puedan ayudar y brindar también esa atención, ofrecerles medicamentos, ofrecerles sus follow-up tests, igual como que si ellos detectan a alguien, nos refieren al paciente igual. Entonces estamos trabajando conjuntamente con ellos.
Local health officials stress that early detection and treatment are vital to curbing the spread of HIV and promoting a healthier future for all Belizeans. As the holiday season approaches, the Corozal Police Formation is preparing to ensure the safety and well-being of the community amid rising concerns over seasonal crime. With countless families planning to travel and celebrate, police resources will be stretched thin, but proactive measures are being implemented to protect citizens during this festive month. Speaking on the Despierta show, Superintendent Elroy Carcamo, officer in charge of the Corozal Police Formation, outlined the department's commitment to maintaining safety and preventing crime throughout December.
What we will do is work closely with the business owners and work closely with the person to, whilst yes, you can say you are infringing on our rights or their rights, you are also infringing on the rights of the business establishment. So if you don't want to come in with follow the rules of the establishment, then don't come into the establishment.
You have
to find a balance. So as police officers, we will be working closely with the community. In fact, we have a business blog here in Corozal, where our business establishments communicate closely with our police officers. And sometimes, they have that problem getting through 911, but on that blog, they would post certain things. We see a suspicious person here, so the police will respond. So we have that good working relationship with our businesses here.
Neighborhood watches committees, are they being formed in Corozal? Do you work hand in hand with them?
Yes, we do have neighborhood watch. We have, actually, we have 11 neighborhood watch groups here in Corozal. Most of them operate through WhatsApp a lot, right? We have 2 or 3 of them that usually have their monthly meetings, but most of them operate through WhatsApp. They are very much active, and you can see a lot of activities happening on these groups.
In a resolute stance against gender-based violence, GBV, the Corozal Police Department has reaffirmed its commitment to zero tolerance regarding such offenses as the country commemorates 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. In line with this year's theme of No Excuses, Officer Commanding the Corozal Police Formation Superintendent Elroy Carcamo says abuse in any form will not be tolerated.
It is going to be a very busy December, and it started off in November with the 16 days of activism. The team No Excuse. Our police officers have been very much engaged, and they are going into the different schools. It is our community policing officer and our domestic violence officer, officers that are going into the different schools to conduct lectures and sensitizing the community itself, the students, about domestic violence and what it is that they can do when it comes to seeing domestic violence, because we know we have a lot of domestic violence happening, but people don't want to report. So pass on information so that we can get the necessary authorities to assist. And so the police department, Corozal Formation, have been very much active, not only with the police itself, but with other agencies. So we have Women's Department, Youth Department, and NDAC that we have joined up with. In fact, today they have a booth display that is happening at the entrance of Free Zone, where they will be sensitizing the community members, and that is a positive thing because we have Belizeans and Mexicans coming in that location, and we started off with a church service. Our cadets participated with us, and so we are trying to get everyone involved, right, to participate and understand that there is no excuse for domestic violence, and we will not entertain it.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Hi, my Orange Arcanios. Have you considered why areas of our tongue flood easily? It's no secret that developing areas in our tongue flood easily due to clogged drains full of garbage and debris. By properly disposing of waste, we ensure free flow in our drains, preventing flooding in developing areas. I thank you as we ask for your support.
Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited. This the season to be jolly, and this Christmas we're making your holiday even brighter. Get ready for Centaur's annual countdown to Mega Christmas Bram, a holiday extravaganza where you can win amazing prizes, play fun games, and experience the magic of Christmas like never before. Join us at the Orange Walk Central Park from December 2nd to the 13th as of 8 p.m. Viewers at home, you also have the opportunity to win too. All you need to do is tune in and play along. This Christmas, let us bring the magic of the season to you with Centaur's annual countdown to Mega Christmas Bram, where the spirit of Christmas shines bright. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
In a significant demonstration of the government's commitment to fostering growth in small and medium enterprises, Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Cordell Hyde addressed a gathering today celebrating the culmination of this year's Business Roadshow carried out by the Office of the Prime Minister under the umbrella of Bell Trade. 7th National Entrepreneurship Convention 2024 carried out under the theme Powering Small Businesses with Big Data and Artificial Intelligence is aimed at empowering local businesses through data utilization, and artificial intelligence has been instrumental in boosting economic development throughout the nation.
Today is really a culmination of a year of lots of activities where MSMEs are concerned. They had a very fruitful, a very hectic, very high-paced roadshow all over the country, featuring small businesses from all over the country, really giving support to these small businesses, kind of showing them how to do business, linking them with the formal sector, with the banks, introducing them to AI and the possible benefits of AI. And today is really a culmination of all that effort. And so I was happy to be here, happy to say some words to them. It's like kind of the longest speech I've ever did give outside of budget debate. But there's so many things the government is doing where AI and big data is concerned for small businesses, and to give these businesses an opportunity to succeed. Like, you can't be left behind, you have to participate, you have to get with the program. AI is here to stay, and so we have to embrace it, we have to navigate it, but we have to try to manage it too, because it can go wrong in a lot of ways, but it can do so many good. And so ultimately it was just me trying to give some words of support to the attendees here today.
During the event held in the absence of the Prime Minister, Hyde emphasized the importance of local spending as a means to stimulate the Belizean economy.
When you spend that money across the border, that money never comes back here. That money goes to enrich some persons. That money goes to better off the lives of so many other people who have no real relation to folks here. And so we have to start looking out for ourselves and start understanding the value of our dollar and what it can mean for improvement and upliftment of our lives here. I think we're not there yet in terms of that maturity, in terms of understanding that we have to spend money with the people who will spend money with us. We have to invest in the businesses that will invest with us.
The Business Roadshow has provided a platform for local businesses to learn, adapt, and thrive in a competitive market. It has encouraged entrepreneurs to harness the power of technology and data analytics to refine their operations and reach broader markets. Belize's Minister of State for Investment, Jorge Espat, is representing the country at the prestigious 30th Extraordinary Meeting of the Forum of Presidents of Legislative Assemblies of Central America, the Caribbean, and Mexico, FOPREL, in Rabat, Morocco. The three-day summit started on November 27th. It focused on pressing global issues like security, climate change, and economic development, bringing together top lawmakers from across the region to collaborate and tackle shared challenges. The Belize delegation, led by Espat, is also participating in courtesy visits with senior Moroccan officials. The delegation's travel expenses are covered by FOPREL and the Moroccan Parliament. The event was led by Luis Rolando Redondo Guifaro, Speaker of the National Congress of Honduras and pro tem President of FOPREL. Other distinguished speakers were also present in the discussions. Several resolutions were passed, including the approval of Morocco's parliament as an associate member of FOPREL, having held observer status since 2014. Founded in 1994, FOPREL works to improve the laws across its member countries and create ways for the leaders of their legislative bodies to work together on regional issues. It also helps support research and studies related to legislation at the regional level. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, December 2nd here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, have a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.